Heads up, we say swear words and talk about dirty things, so make sure you're cool with that.
Oh, hey, Alex, who's lifeguarding a pool.
Oh, hey, Kyle.
I don't know what to do with this bit. Oh, and that's a motorcycle.
All right, guys, and we're back. Unfortunately, we were asked to lifeguard this pool, so you might hear some birds and motorcycles and other
Lots of motorcycles. Why? I don't know why they put a pool right next to a road, but it's almost like we're recording in the morning, and there's a lot of activity outside.
It's this whole meta bit of being in a classroom is really hard to keep up.
Yep. So let's attempt to find some ice cream on ears and continue with the synopsis.
Yeah. All right, credits of the Fool's credits. The last part of the movie arc. Really, really good. I liked it a lot.
I gotta ask, how do you feel about finally getting the real answer of our murder mystery?
Oh, I adored it. So to spoil the ending of our part 4, Hongo, who is the screenwriter, this was all a work against her. This was all Irisu, who was the film club president, was just like trying to like rewrite the story so that there would be more murder and what the committee wanted against what the writer's intent was. So they used Areki as a pawn to write a clever ending. And what I liked about this was Areki fell into Irisu's trap. He fell into the Empress's eyes. So he wrote a great ending, and then the other characters for the first time were on the flight of steps above him. They were like, it was a good ending, but it just wasn't. This did not feel like what Hongo intended.
Yeah, he didn't solve a mystery. He just wrote a very interesting narrative.
Yeah, it was a narrative trick, but there wasn't any thought put into it. And we learned what Hongo intended with the rope and how they were hiding the stabbing attempt. That was clever.
Yeah. I really want to pull attention to this scene with Areki and Fukube when he's first telling him, like, you know, Sherlock Holmes never used a narrative trick. And, like, they really get into some, like hard terms for people who, like, might not understand narratives and, like, how things are written.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this show isn't afraid to go into, like, deep details.
They're talking about Agatha Christie and that era of writing, and just how the Arthur Conan Doyle books very straightforward. And Fukube is just being honest. This is the man who the last episode was honest that he felt jealous of Hotaro's gift and how special he was, and his ability to deduce problems or to deduce what might have actually happened. And he's coming towards Areki with a bit of not disrespect.
I think it's disappointment.
It's disappointment. Yeah, he feels like Areki missed the human. Because I'm sorry, I'm rambling, but
no, it's fine. I'm just late for class. I love living next to a church.
The other solved issues of, like, why was this door locked? Why was this book taken out? It always involved
why did I cry at my grandpa a bunch of years ago?
It always involved people and ethics and psychology. And this felt like it was disrespecting the source and not true to the intent for the first time. And everyone feels it, including Areki, because he can't sleep and he can't stay still. And that's weird.
So, okay. I want to move on to another scene. And that's with Irisu and Areki back at the tea house.
Tea place, yeah.
Once Areki has figured it all out and he realized how he's just been used by Irisu, we get the most hot-tempered Oreki that we have ever gotten.
Yeah.
Like, he had his talent dangled above him and told he was a genius. Oh, you're so great. Why don't you figure out this great mystery I have set up for you?
Does it feel like it feels like he's never been used before, at least in that scene. The whole show's about them using Areki to solve problems, but it never felt like they were disrespecting him.
Right.
And this was a complete manipulation of his character. And it really pulls something out of him that we've never seen before, which is just anger. He shouts and shouts and shouts and brings the sun down. And
yeah, in a quiet tea room at that. It's pretty interesting to see Areki lose his composure, because like you'd like to think that it's the only thing he has, because he likes throwing back witty comments. He doesn't get too riled up, but dude got riled.
And Irisu doesn't, like, you were right in the beginning. She is as blunt as can be. He's like, you manipulated me. You wanted to rewrite Hongo's idea, and she's like, is there anything wrong with that? So what? Yeah, that's what I did. And she believes she's doing the right thing until she comes back home and goes on the chat room. And then we find out that it was not Chitanda who was that mysterious sing-song girl.
Mysterious senpai?
Oh my god, Mysterious Senpai is actually a senpai, and it took me a moment to figure that out.
It just heavily implies that it's Oreki's sister.
Yeah.
Which, what we were talking about beforehand, was the character I was foreshadowing in the intro. Because our second episode, Oreki's sister comes back.
Yeah.
Tomoe is in the house.
No face.
Nope. You're not allowed to look at that face. It's too cute. Don't look at it.
She brought home a boomerang. That's
and like
weird.
a maraca?
Yeah, it's what he wanted.
Yep, this is 100% Areki would love this.
Areki, take this job.
I'm so curious about jobs, Areki.
I feel like you can hear Fukube snap on the phone when he's like, hey, Areki, I need my book back. And he's like, after my job. And there's just a fax machine. Yeah, what? You have what? You? When then they're like, we have to harass you. And then they go over to the pool. He's the lifeguard.
You know, I gotta say, it's very obvious in this episode. We even called it out. Fukube's voice actor had so much fun in this episode.
He's the best.
I'm so glad the dub on this is strong.
And like, especially them all trying to figure out the earring mystery. Like that should be that is the most mundane mystery yet, because everyone can figure it out. It's an OVA episode. So it's an easy mystery. It's a simple one. But what really sold the acting for me was Areki goes into an even more complacent personality this time. He goes into an even more like static, like what would you call, like what? I'm wondering why he was like that. Was it something about working? I think
it was more like lethargic. Like he's gotten to a point, like even summer has made him more lazy. Like he's just been sitting down watching TV. Even his sister's like, when did you start watching TV?
Yeah, I
think he's in a bummery place because of the events with Irisu.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think he's like, man, I'm not special at all. Like, even this one thing I kind of enjoyed, like, I got taken advantage of, so he's been down in the dumps. And I think it's this job, and honestly, like, you can blame Tomoe for this. She's like, oh, I know how to fix this. We just have to make him have fun.
Go back to work, person not doing well.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I know Fukube said, like, oh, I immediately called both the girls when we heard you were going to be at the pool. But I wouldn't be surprised if Tomoe also had a hand in that.
Oh, do you think so?
Yeah.
Areki is having some problems at work.
Oh,
he's having some problems. And that problem is, according to this book, it's called The Male Gaze.
Oh no. Yeah. I mean, come on, it's summer. We needed a swimsuit episode, and we gotta mix up that chemistry between our two main characters.
It's a weird sort of chemistry because
Alex, you have no idea.
Because usually, even with Kyoto animation like Dragon Maid, like they're gonna do their fan service shots, and they'll do it with the camera in the right place at the right time with the right movement. But with Areki, never stray from his point of view and how darting and fleeting it is. Like, he glimpses at shoulders and looks at her when she's doing movements and looks immediately away. It really feels like he's flighty and nervous about it, and we get to see it and no one else does. It's the most interesting part.
It's kind of adorable.
And he's like, oh yeah, it has to be ice cream that was on that woman's ear because nothing else at this pool is white. Well, there is one thing.
I have to go water my dog.
That's it. It was a nice episode to bring Areki back. You know what? Maybe this was an episode that was made. Maybe they made it between 11 and 12 because Areki needed to be brought back to step 1 in his personality.
You know,
Like-
I for the life of me, I also can't remember if I watched this episode when I watched it originally.
Oh, really?
I do remember an episode where the sister came back, but I don't know if it was this one. I don't know. I have a loose memorization.
She has 2 trips to South America in
She
1 year.
literally might leave in the next episode. I don't quite remember. I'll have to admit to the listeners, from here on out, my memory gets a bit fuzzy until the end.
What do you remember that you can tell me?
There's an episode where they talk to a group of old people. That is about it. It's just been a while, man.
Well, if we're into unknown territory, I feel like you're going to have a few aha moments because the next 2 episode previews, the thumbnails were weird as hell.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know what that costume was. But
well, we'll have to find out next time.
a corpse by evening and the thingies that are piled up without end. Kyle, I do need to know this before we go back and we leave the pool.
Would you say you have to know?
I have to know. Do we get to meet Hongo?
Do we get to meet Hongo? I'm not sure if I should leave this a mystery or not, because I don't want to get like your hopes up or your hopes down.
Okay.
Let's keep it at an intermediate here and just chalk it up to, oh, I definitely don't remember.
Chitanda said that she definitely feels like she has a kindred spirit connection to Hongo, and I'm just hoping it's
interesting.
I'm hoping it's just Chitanda with a mustache.
She's just like wearing a sombrero.
Yeah, and her catchphrase is
My name is Hongo.
Her catchphrase is, I don't need to know.
Oreki, make me forget. Today on Reverse Ice Cream. I forgot how I walked into this room.
You're in a pool, man. You have to swim out.
Oh, how did I get...
In the pool, I don't care. Splash, splash, splash.